Hi, I'm Anna.
I'm Ben.
We're AutoSave. Welcome to our channel.
Today we're watching the Apothecary Diaries Season 1, Episode 2. How are you liking it so far?
I think that you already know the answer to this question, but no one else does, so I will answer it. Since we watched the first episode, I think I have said, at least to Ben, every single day, I can't wait until we're sitting down and watching the next episode of the show. Like I said previously with our intro to episode 1, I had been wanting to read this series before it had been announced that it was getting an anime. Luckily, I did not start reading it, so now I can experience it with you, and I am so freaking excited.
I'm curious. I want to learn more about Mao Mao. Like, I just want
fair.
to see more of Mao Mao talking.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I want.
Right. I love
Give
the
me
idea.
the main character talking. There's no way that would happen.
I love the idea of how curious she is.
Yeah. All right, you ready?
Yes.
Sweet. Are you assuming that, like, this episode there's going to be, like, another problem that we have to solve? Like, another thing we have to diagnose?
That is my guess currently.
Man, the way that the intro shows Mao Mao...
It's so different.
Like, what is going to be the... I guess, like, progress up the hierarchical, like, you know...
Yeah, we have now gotten a promotion. How does that change her?
Yeah.
We did end last episode
with this.
with the
exactly
food.
this.
How important is he that he would advise to something
Right?
like this that doesn't have anything to do with the concubines?
Whew.
ですが玉葉妃は明るく穏やかでありながら同時に聡明で用心深い。どこの馬の骨かもわからぬものを次女にはしない。帝の長妃という立場は常に人を疑わなければ命がいくつあっても足りないからな。
Her cautious,
新しい次女とは
hating ignorance.
ガオシュン、都合のいい駒が見つかったんだ。
Just the right pawn.
例のそばかすの下女だ。薬に対する知識を利用しない手はないだろう。なるほど。ですがその知識を悪用され。
Ooh, the idea of abusing that knowledge.
悪用できないようにすればいい。簡単なことだ。念のため色目でも使っておくか。
What?
Yeah, I don't think that's gonna work.
何かご用でしょうか。
いや、用はない。
は？じゃあなんで来た？暇なのか。
All of the other women are so jealous.
玉葉妃に。
It's not gonna work.
失礼します。
Does he think it
Love
worked?
it. Probably. Seems a little cocky.
I love Mao Mao so much.
Ew, gross.
Oh.
玉葉様の次女頭をしている。
Head lady in
モナと
waiting.
言います。翡翠宮へようこそ。お待ちしておりました。マオマオ。
That baby has grown a lot, or that's a different baby.
シャオリンも歓迎してるみたい。
Nope,
Nope,
same
same
baby.
baby.
Just a lot more hair.
紹介するわ。翡翠宮の次女たちよ。はじめまして、インファです。わからないことがあったら聞いてね。こんにちは。
I bet they're all gonna be likable since they were all picked by Gyokyo.
I agree with you.
どうぞよろしくお願いいたします。マオマオです。お世話になります。翡翠宮では下女を雇っていないので、じゃあ私も。あなたはお部屋で休んでいて。ゆっくりしてればいいわ。
After
They're worried
noticing the bandage, right?
あともあることだし。
You have a special task coming up.
マオマオ、部屋に案内するわ。
They're all
They have
so
so much
concerned.
care.
Please still be good when she leaves the room.
あの子の左腕、きっと故郷で親から虐待。
They do not understand.
高級へ売り飛ばされたのね。
Aw.
挙句の果てにはあんな辛い仕事を。
They're probably from a better household standing. They
Yeah.
probably weren't like sold into this.
But they're so, like, they're trying to, like, their best to help her. Whoa.
出世してしまったな。新入りが来ていい顔をされないのは分かってた。だけどあの目は同情？
Yeah,
なぜに？
they weren't unwelcoming.
That's fun.
毒
Wait,
Understands
so
why
she-
the girl said that.
Oh wait, she's excited.
Yeah, oh god, yeah. She's curious. She'd look at her arm, you know?
のために作られた食事はこの部屋に運び込まれる前に何人かの手が
Hmm.
故にその途中で毒を入れられる可能性がある
Tasting food for poison, bringing us back to what's happening.
2回ほど毒が盛られた
Wow, it's frequent.
当時の毒味役だった次女は神経をやられて今も手足が動かない
Whoa.
なるほどそれで次女たちは同情
Oh, the special task.
それでは
I wonder if Mao Mao's gonna be able to taste
Smell?
poison with like a minimal amount of the food, you know, so she doesn't have to overdo it.
Or smell it.
色に異常なし匂いなししびれもない
Wow, and then spits it out. Wow, the self-awareness, knowing your body.
花町の家にいた頃は実験と称し腕でいろいろと試してきた
I wonder if something has actually been poisoned to actually test her
少
further.
しずつ毒に体を慣らしてきたから多くの毒が効かなくなっている正
No
直
effect?
自分は毒味には向かないでもこの役職はある意味幸運だったな
笑ってる
皿は毒に反応しやすい銀製のものに変えた方がよろしいかと思います
ジンシ様の言った通りねわざと陶器を使ったのあなたを試すためにね
So that was the test.
あの男の企みか
まさに毒にも薬にもなる能力ね
今も人さらいどもに給金の一部が送られていると考えると腹渡が煮えくり返ります
つまり自分の給金を減らしてでもそいつらに酒代を与えたくないのねあらら結構高いのよこれ次女のお給金じゃ払えないわこれじゃあ実家への仕送りもできないむしろ請求するくらいじゃないと
Oh my god, I love her.
すいません見なければ手持ちからも
え手続きしておくわ
That's
それと
fantastic.
毒味役の追加給
Hazard pay.
給料とほぼ同額人さらい
Wow.
たちに金が渡らない分得をしたことになる
So we're only hurting them with breaking that. So good.
飴の使い方がうまい
Yeah, she
Yeah,
does.
she does.
Hongyang, right? Fantastic.
もともと手は足りてるんだから
毒味役として呼ばれ
Look at her.
2回の食事と昼のお茶会毒蛇でもいれば実験できるのに
She just wants a venomous snake.
こちらの方がね
なぜ聞かない
He's realizing it doesn't work on her.
I love how fast it is.
今日は何のご用でしょう
That's only gonna make him want to try
ある武
harder.
漢からもらったものなんだが
Okay.
味見してくれないか
Here we go.
サイン剤入りですね
食べなくてもわかるのか
健康に害はないので美味しくいただいてください今晩あたりそのお相手から訪問があるかもしれませんね
なんだ匂いでわかるのか
この男まさかサイン剤入りと知ってて食べさせようとは
I mean...
もう一つ異民族に組みしたとして村長を捕らえたがとある武官がその場を沈め処分は保留となっている
普通に考えると村民が毒を持ったということになるけれど医師様食事はどこで取ったんでしょうか
野営だから外だろ
器や箸さじなども村民が用意を
ういや兵士たちがその場で用意したはずだが
They're all following her with their eyes.
この花は尺投げと言います
Rhododendron.
美味しいの
いえ摂取すると吐き気や呼吸困難を起こします
おい
このように高級内にも毒を持つ植物はありますこれは葉に毒がありますが枝や根に毒があるもの
Ah.
中には生木を燃やすだけで毒になるものも
燃やすだけで
They were sitting around a campfire, right? Yep.
And they were just picking up wood and throwing it in. They poisoned themselves.
ご用が済みましたならこれで
いや待て
まだ何か
美薬を作ってくれないか
作る
つまり
She would love to.
Oh my god. That's your ticket in.
時間と材料と道具さえあればそれに準ずるものなら作れます。
How good do you think it would be? Like, how perfect and precise?
いえ、部屋でお茶でも。
あいにく仕事が残っていますので失礼します。
It really does work on everybody else. Look at her. She fell to the ground because of Jinshi.
たちは気づいていないのでしょう。ジンシ様が市場への忠誠を図る。
It serves as a
Ah.
test of their loyalty.
通いがないからと他の男を信女に引き入れようなど不心得は甚だしい。妃は美しいだけ教養があるだけでは
Has to be
足りない。
loyal.
帝に対しての忠誠心、それを見極めるためにジン様を高級に置き美しさを利用すると
There's a lot
Use
of
your beauty as a
非
test.
常の酷なことを自分を欲情の相手にしないばかりかあんな目で
Mau Mau.
Disgust.
あんな軽蔑した目で見られたのは初めてだ。では私は失礼します。
今晩あたり訪問が。
He's heeding that as a warning. That's so funny.
頑張ってね。
Look at her.
Aww. They're all so worried about her, but she loves this. This is the best day of her life.
マオマオ様、改めましてガオシュンと申します。
Gaoshin.
普段はジン様の付き人をしています。
I like him.
以後お見知りおきを。
あれの付き人は大変そうだな。
She has sympathy. I hate him.
Is it like her own little?
と言われています。
Wow.
の舞か何かか。あちらですね。
よく気がつくな。それに比べて囚人は
I like him.
カカオです。
足りないなら用意すればいいだけのこ
We'll
とだ。
simply find
で
more.
も西のさらに南方で取れるものですよ。牛乳とバター、砂糖、蜂蜜と粉末のカカオ。これだけあれば十分だ。
Good mise en place.
ばかりね。
あなたたち何してるの？
Motivating her workers once again.
一度だけカカオを食べたことがある。
Wow.
チョコレートっていうの。マオマオ。
No wonder she liked that job.
横島の
She had access to things, you know?
写真を買うために渡したが、
Hmm.
残念ながらやり手ババアに出金を食らう羽目になった。
Wow.
よし、よしって。
I love this song. The score's great.
さ、洗い物でもするかな。
Uh-oh.
薬草？あれはここにも。
Who's gonna eat them?
Uh-oh.
とりあえず効力は分かった。
でどういうことなの？と言われましても大丈夫です。見せていた。
じゃあこっちは何なんだ？
私の夜食です。
Wow.
酒や刺激物に慣れていると効き目はそれほどありません。
ということは私が食べても問題ないのか。
それはおやめください。
けど万が一あの顔が頬を染めながら迫ってきたら、男女問わず理性のタガが外れかねないだろうな。顔だけは無駄にいいから。効き目が強いので一粒ずつを目安に。食べ過ぎると血が回りすぎて鼻血が出ると思いますので。
今度は帝のために作ってもらおうかしら。マンネリ防止に。
いつもの競争剤の3倍は効くと思います。
Wow.
3倍持続の方がし。
あの子、薬を作れるんですね。
Wow.
頼もしいわね。
やっと終わった。
Alone with the person in mind.
手を煩わせたな。ありがとう。
Did that work?
なるほど。
What do you think Gao Shun thinks of all of this? The fuck was that? It looked like a ghost. Okay, that was the Apothecary Diaries Season 1, Episode 2. You're enjoying yourself.
I am living such a happy, blessed life right now. I'm in my happy place, in my element. It was like the camera wasn't there. You weren't here. I was just so in it and so happy and so like giggly.
Do you have like any notes even? Or were you just too immersed?
Dude, I barely wrote anything down. I was too into it.
I was in a similar boat though. I am loving this.
It's
I'm
just
loving Mao
fun.
Mao. It's so much fun.
And Mao Mao as a character is just, if you weren't having fun with a character like this, I don't know what you're doing wrong.
Like, I love the obsession of like surprise and mystery, and like it's a big question mark, right? It reminds me of a book that we just read of what fish don't exist.
Why fish don't exist.
Yeah, but like the idea of like needing to know what this does, right? The idea of being an apothecary to Mao Mao, like having like, oh my god, if I eat this or if I do something with this, there will be a result, an effect. It will have an effect that is very specific, unlike anything else. Like, it's going to make you feel more nauseous than another thing, but instead of making your head hurt, it's going to give you a rash. Like, the inquisitive nature of Mao Mao, and seeing her walk into the room with everything that she could imagine in terms of making a drug was so fun. I don't know, it was so hard. Like, I get happy on behalf of Mao Mao.
Agreed. There's this beauty here of both her excitement and being able to have access to all of these different tradable goods that she maybe wouldn't normally have access to unless she was maybe at the brothel and it was a specialty. In comparison to her just walking outside from cooking and looking at the grass and being like, herbs, oh my gosh, and then starting to collect them. What she can find herself there, while also what she now has access to that she only rarely saw before.
Yeah. I wonder where they usually get their aphrodisiacs from. Like, I wonder if they have somebody make it within house, or they trade for an already existed aphrodisiac. Because, like, when Mao Mao's saying how much more potent and stronger that this particular aphrodisiac would be, it was made with a very expensive ingredients, you know? Mm-hmm. And the idea of using these expensive ingredients to make a more enhanced, potent version of something is so fascinating.
The intent of it as more of a drug. We get the language as Gyokyu is leaving that, oh, she can make drugs too.
Yeah.
That it's even more potent. I think that one of my favorite elements of this episode in particular is this idea, just for the landscape we're in, the idea that we are surrounded, these concubines are so surrounded by risk. There are flowers in their own rooms that are poisonous.
Yeah.
There is certain wood that if burned could be poisonous. Gyokyu's meals have been poisoned like twice already recently. Food changes hands this many times. The amount of like fear factor there is, I'm starting to feel it more and more as Mao Mao has now become this promoted position. Gyokyu is this character that is extremely cautious, that ignorance is such a sin to her, and we're really seeing why that is the case. Like, why she has so much reason to be worried.
Yeah. I mean, we have gotten listed attempts that have happened to her. One of my favorite things about Mao Mao, and I think through Mao Mao Gyokyu, because of that like awareness, it's not paranoia based off of nothing, is that Mao Mao is physically manifesting and changing the way reality is working right now, right? Like, it makes logical sense why these soldiers get to a conclusion of accusing and blaming this village and going on to prosecute somebody for obviously having to poison them because they ate, right? Like, Mao Mao is effectively warping that reality by having more knowledge and like being
and a logical conclusion, a rational conclusion that she's able to bring up.
Because she has more information, because she's more inquisitive, because I love her.
It almost, it reminds you of how curses could take hold in people's minds. That, like, that's what we get in the first episode, is that people are thinking that these babies, that there's a curse on all of these babies being born and then dying. And Mao Mao is able to be like, not a curse, poisoned white powder.
Yeah.
And I really like, I'm loving the show so much.
Well, like, to bring it back to this book that we read without really referring to it, there's a concept of like, as time progresses in our world, one might think something like a fish is bottom of the food chain. It is it's trash compared to, like, you know, a lion or like monkeys, you know. But as you understand them more and more, you can make it like there's a salmon that's more similar to an elephant than a salmon would be to like a grouper or another type of fish, because like outside appearances are very convincing and they are very convincing on your mind, but within more knowledge and more discoveries being found, the getting closer to the truth and revealing why that past perception was wrong is so entertaining. And also why that connects, that idea that there are fish that could be more closely related to a cow versus another type of fish. Yeah. What that brings up, why like that is prevalent to what we're watching here, is that we have an apothecary that is going a step beyond. She is opening up that fish per se to see what about it is different, what is there, what sense, what is the structure, what are the effects that it has on a person. She is an actual test dummy for this. Yeah. She tests herself with all of these different things. She went over to that rhododendron and she ate a petal of it. Yeah. She's fucking crazy. I love it. Like, cause like it takes that, like, Mao Mao isn't doing this because this is homework or like it's her job so that she needs to do it. She wants it. Like, she needs it. And that's what leads her to get more information and be so good at what she does. Normally when we have characters in anime or in stories that have no effect on them from poisons, it is because they're an assassin character. Yeah. I love that it's just this curious girl that just worked herself up to this herself, and mad scientist, as her father said when she had a snake literally bite her arm. I will say it makes me a little worried because like the idea of her bringing up her aversion to it and self-identifying that she might not be the best for this as a taste tester. Yeah, I'm so scared of her accidentally getting it wrong because of that aversion to poisons if she wasn't able to like you know, find the poison through taste or smell, and she didn't have any effect from it because of the aversion. I wouldn't want any negative consequence of her lack of ability, quote unquote, to be like taken out on her. Right. What poison has she really worked herself up against? Probably more common things. So it might be that other people would be able to catch that as well, and it's the more rare thing, the more very specific and niche thing like the powder, where there was an element to it that she had never experimented with herself with that would get through the hands and even get in front of the concubine. It would probably have to be more specific, more rare, more unknown than maybe a common poison. Her having connections with the verdigris house from episode 1 and that being the through line to why she's had chocolate before was so cool to me. Like, I love that aspect of her life was rewarding her own passion and inquisitiveness for being an apothecary. Go on. No, go. I did not expect to love side characters as much as I'm loving them. I was going the same direction. I'll start, like, I love the girls and their idea. The ladies in waiting. Yeah, the ladies in waiting, and they're like, oh my god, Mao Mao has like an awful, we'll do everything, we got it, just make sure you rest. I love them, they're so sweet. Goshin is the best character in anime. And then Hung Yang.
Yang.
The conversation about doing what is done to the captors and like giving them a fee, a charge, but then able to be paying Mao Mao separately without any. Oh my god, the whole pot scene was fantastic.
I am so excited. I feel like it would have been so typical to have, as soon as Mao Mao left the room there, that these ladies in waiting would have actually not been as sweet as we first perceived them
fake.
to be. Because in theory, with what we've already been introduced with Gyokyu and hearing at the beginning of the episode from Jinchi that she was super selective. She needed to know the entire like life history of these 4 ladies in waiting, where the other main concubines have so many more ladies in waiting. She's very cautious. I went into things thinking, well, if she was very selective with these women, then there's a high chance that these women are going to be great. But then I got a little like, ooh, but what if behind closed doors, it's like more of a facade?
Yeah.
And so as soon as Mao Mao left, I was like, okay, now we're going to see the true colors. And the true colors were just that they are just sweet and sympathetic. And it was just very cute. And Mao Mao's like, at first as she gets into her room, she's like, I guess I'm being so unwelcomed because I got this big promotion. Why would they welcome me with open arms? But then she thinks about it a little more and she's like, but then why did their expressions look so sympathetic?
Yeah.
Like, of course she feels unwelcomed if they're like, nope, we don't want your help. We don't want your help. Go to your room. Go to your room.
Yeah. I love them because what it does for me, what not having them be fake or have a facade and that just being them, it reinforces my positive opinion of Hung Yang. Or, sorry, not Hung Yang, of Gyokyu. Like, the idea of that process, is like, it being intact is great.
Hazard pay.
Yeah.
She gets hazard pay because of what she's doing, and it's completely money for herself.
I think that the idea of Jinshi's attempts at, you know, being smooth that works on everybody and it just not working on Mao Mao is great. And I love his, like, he likes it. Like, he likes that this is different. The
curiosity element. He's so curious here in a positive way. It's not like this is pissing him off or anything. He's, like, delighted by this new development.
Yeah.
Like, oh my gosh, someone doesn't just freak out and fall to the ground when I touch their hair.
Yeah. One of my favorite parts so far about this series is that, like, we knew what this episode is partially going to be about.
Mm-hmm.
Partially.
With the food and the soldiers.
Yeah, and we're getting that again here. Like, we see a ghostly looking creature on top of the walls, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, they have that ghostly aura to them. And, like, or a spirit. And then, like, we get a very big close-up of their eye, and it looks terrifying. How the fuck is this going to apply to the Apothecary Diaries we know 2 episodes in, or Mao Mao, you know?
I think that it fits with the direction I'm going right now is there's going to be an idea of a ghost.
Okay.
But it might even just be sleepwalking. If we think of what a more rational solution to what it might be, it would be sleepwalking. If we're going with apothecary, we're going with ailments, we're going with, or hallucinations. Fair. Really great point. There's suspicions, there's curses. That's what we've gotten with these first 2 episodes, is like immediately jumping to conclusions. Whatever is the easiest thing for your mind to grasp hold of to make sense of something that is scary to you.
Yeah.
And here we have something that appears to be ghostly.
Or it could be like that person could, like, the figure walking there could be a real person, and something that they have been around has affected them and changed their behavior, and now they're more like creepy or more like erratic, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Changed in a different way.
Definitely doing risky behaviors on top of a wall like that.
Or paranoid. I don't know.
Paranoid, yeah. Thank goodness that when we start a show, we initially put out the first 3 episodes all as a chunk.
Mm-hmm.
And I am just so excited to go into the next episode. I'm like, can we watch it now, please? I know if there's any more to talk about, I'm totally game to hear what else you might have to say. But I want to watch the next episode.
You know what? I'm sad that there isn't anything else I feel like I have to say. I wish the episodes were longer. I wish there was more I could gush about.
One more thing. I did think of something.
Okay.
So pat me on the back. I'm so impressive because I thought of one more thing. Jinshi is there to test their loyalty.
Yeah.
On purpose.
Oh my god. And the idea of, like, with Goshen talking about it, like, oh, yes, he's using your, like, everybody is so, like, bluntly aware of how attractive
Mao said
Jinshi
men
is.
and women. Mao was like, Mao spelled it out for us.
Yeah.
Everyone would be in love. We now know how beautiful Jinshi is. Everyone would fall for Jinshi.
Super interesting concept that he's there to test the women.
I don't think that Jinshi's actually a eunuch in terms of like what is done to eunuchs for them to be able to be there. I don't think he is at the moment. For what we learn from this episode of him being placed there, he's being written to from the soldiers. He has other jobs. He's working closely with the concubines. He's been purposefully put there by the emperor to test the women and their loyalty.
I wonder what Jinshi and the Emperor's relationship really is like, because there has to be that aspect of trust, because if it's just somebody, some pretty face, and you're assigning them this job, what if they're doing it and lying to you?
Well, you know
they
how
have to be so trusted.
One of the concubines would get pregnant.
Yeah.
It's almost like a test of Jinshi. He's being tested here too. If he's not a eunuch and having gone through the same thing as the other men.
But there would be no way of knowing what Jinshi's actually doing. If he was doing something like that would be failing that test that you're bringing up, he could get away with it, which is why I'm feeling like there definitely is reinforced feelings of Jinshi and the Emperor's relationship having to be something so like brotherly or so like they trust each other, and there's no doubt that Jinshi would actually do anything.
This idea that this man is so beautiful and everyone loves him, but I've never seen him have a crush on anyone. I've never seen him show the same interest in women as the women show to him. I would like to learn more about whatever his relationship with the Emperor is.
Me too. Man, the intro really gave me like, holy shit, what are they gonna do with the character of Mao Mao?
That she's depicted as more sensual.
How would Mao Mao, like, you're telling me Mao Mao would want to dress like that? Like, or want to, like, I don't know. I'm just interested to see how we get there.
Well, what that was is, that was a spoiler for this episode, and Mao Mao went home and had her midnight snack that she made for herself.
Yeah.
That's what happens in the opening.
The girl's eating it.
I know.
No, I love that about Mao Mao, right? The idea that no, she had extra, so she's gonna make snacks, and they're gonna have all the ingredients and still be an aphrodisiac, like to such a lesser degree, because she already used what she needed to make the most potent option. Awesome. All right. Good?
Yeah.
Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and we hope to see you next time.